Let's go look for some ugly women. I remember the time he come to me, he said, boy, I found out where there's the ugliest, nastiest, stinking women around. I said, where, Daddy? We going back to the bowling alley? He said, no. I said, we going to the laundromat? He said, no. I said, well, Daddy, where are we going to find us a grizzly specimen? He said, boy, you ever been to a country music festival? I said, well, no, Daddy, I don't believe I have. I'm a kind of a rock and roll guy. Like, he said, well, boy, I wonder when they have them bluegrass festivals, like outdoors, you know, live from Bug Creek and that kind of stuff. He said, boy, you'll see some of the nastiest women coming to them country music festivals. I mean, women with 8, 9 kids. I mean, women that ain't seen a bar of soap in years. And to match it all, they're outside sweating in the sun watching this thing all weekend long, sleeping on the ground. I mean, the only thing they got under their armpits is hair and sweat. I said, Daddy, you turning me on now. You mean we can get her? He said, yeah, we can get us a woman like that. So we went to the country music festival. We paid out $10 a piece to get into this thing because it was all weekend long. And I looked around, I couldn't believe my eyes. There they were. I mean, ski pants everywhere, leading a whole bunch of gaggling, nasty kids. I said, Daddy, this is like paradise. He said, yeah. He said, look at that, there's Mel Tillis up on the stage. I said, Mel, who? He said, Mel Tillis. Listen, boy, I like that. Oh, he's doing my favorite song. I said, Daddy, pipe down. Pipe down. Everybody want to hear Mel. They don't want to hear you.
Hey, baby, let me see your brand new saddle.
Daddy said, I'm going up. I said, Daddy, you sit down, would you?
Pretty thing upon my horse.
He said, I love this song.
Let's get it on real tight.
Everybody's going, shh. Daddy's going, hey, Mel.
Oh.
Mel, buddy. I got the horse and she got the saddle. We like to ride side by side. Oh, I got the horse and she got the saddle. Together we're gonna ride, ride, ride. I said, Daddy, get off the stage. Yeah. But he kept on by the river, by the honeysuckle vine. We'll be riding, peeping and hiding, till we see the morning light. Well, I got the horse and you got the saddle. We're gonna ride side by side. Oh, I got the horse and she got the saddle. Together we're gonna ride, ride, ride. I went running up there. I said, I cried out like that. Will you get on the stage? Gee, I can't believe it there. Mel was giving us funny looks. I said, Daddy, we came here to do some hobbling. He said, but that was a hobbling song. I don't want to hear nothing about no horses and saddles. Well, finally we found us one. She was looking at us. We were looking at her. I said, ma'am, I hope you don't mind me being forward like this. But my daddy and I was looking at you, and you're one of the prettiest women we have ever seen in a long time. And she probably had nobody say that to her, and she was very flattered. I said, would you mind going walking with us? Could you leave the kids with your husband and come with us into the bushes? She yelled out, Horace, look after these kids. These men seem to have lost their car keys. I'm going to find them a hanger. So she came with us. Oh, Nellie, I watched it. I watched that massive turd cutter on her. Oh, it looked like two bulldogs fighting under a rug as she walked. Well, on the way to the car, we stopped at this picnic grove. There wasn't nobody around, but there was a table all made up with a long tablecloth. I said, Daddy, that's us. So we dragged her underneath that picnic table. She was ready. She was sitting on go. Daddy said, go ahead, boy, nail that thing. Count up, knock the ball. I said, all right, Daddy, I don't mind if I do. So I started hobbling. I said, I can't feel nothing. Man, would you mind wrapping some skin around that bad boy? How many kids you have anyway? She said 7. I said, Daddy, run back to the truck, get that box of rubber bands we got out there. Must have put some rubber bands around that bad boy. Get some friction on this thing. He said, 10 folks. We come back with a rubber band, big rubber band, you know, and I put about half a dozen on there, increased the diameter a little bit, and then, oh, it reached that. Away, roll it right along. Aggie, roll it. Keep them sweat high. I said, Daddy, why don't you jump in here and make her air tight? But the Bombays, you won't need the rubber. Yeah, you do need the rubber band. Damn, all right. Put some rubber band. There we go. So we had us a time. Oh. Daddy said, you know what I got the urge for? I said, what, Daddy? He said, little gobble the geek. I said, oh, Daddy, I don't believe I could with this specimen here. He said, that's just it, boy. Show you're a man. Watch this. He went ahead and he went, ah! I looked on top of the table. There was a big old bucket of potato salad up there. I said, Dad, I want you to line it up with this a little bit. Maybe that'll cut it a little bit. He said, all right, boy. He took out the putty knife, and he just lathered that thing up with potato salad. Real nice indeed. Then he said, ooh, now that's some good eating, boy. I like potato salad. And sure enough, I said, yeah, buddy, tang. Well, sure enough, we achieved glorious Shangri-Las, and she just hitched up her britches and went on her way. Wouldn't you know, to make this whole story even more tawdry, her husband was feeling a little frisky after hearing Mel Tiller sing I Got the Hoss. And he said, darling, why don't you come out to the truck with me? I'm up for some.